Right, we're on. Today we're going to talk about shanking, that dreaded shot in golf. I did a lesson this week with a chap called Brian. Brian had that issue in his golf swing. We looked at the way he took the club back, we assessed the way he brought the club through, and we were able to fix his shank pretty quickly actually. Today that's the topic, talking about shanking. Right, before we start, if you're a subscriber to my channel, thank you very much. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, just a click of that button down there below would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Also the little bell icon, that'll give you instant notifications of my videos. And of course the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment, because that shares it around the algorithm of YouTube, which gives my videos more views and makes it all worthwhile for everyone. So shanking. Shanking is obviously today's topic. The chap that came to me, Brian, he had a serious problem. Every iron shot, or he did not look forward to his first iron shot of the day, which generally works out to be his fourth hole, just the way the course works out, and he stands on the first tee dreading his approach shot to the fourth green. But that's no way to start your golf game. By starting off dreading a part of your round that you're going to be playing is not good skills at all. I mean, going out there on the first tee thinking about what's going to happen on the fourth fairway, that is not ideal. That is the last thing we want to be happening when we're playing golf. A little loft on that. Now we've changed club. I got off right there. So the shank, what is the shank? Well, it's two round surfaces hitting each other. Round surface, golf ball, round surface, hosel of golf club. Round surface, round surface. That's a shank. So when we come in, there's different ways it can be delivered into impact. Quite often you get people hitting the toe of the club into the ground, then the heel kicks forward because his toes slowed down, so then it's going to come off the hosel. Other examples can be leading with too much with the heel, so then of course shank, nearly hit the camera. So the shank's a horrible shot, and of course once you've done it once, it's in the mind and you're thinking next time you've got the same iron shot or any iron shot, of course you're freaking out thinking this is going to happen again. That was very much the case with Brian. Brian had got himself into so much of a pickle that on the first tee he was focused on what was going to happen on the fourth hole. Now that you can't play golf like that, that's not the way to play golf. So I said to Brian, I said, the reason you're coming up here today, why are you coming up here today? Brian's obvious answer was, I've come up here to stop shanking. I was like, no, that's not why you've come up here today. I explained to Brian he's come up here today to learn how to hit good golf shots. If he comes up here thinking he's come up here to learn how to stop shanking, of course the shank is going to be in his mind, it's getting planted further and further in the mind, and shank is in there. He's come up here today to learn how to hit good golf shots. So then all of a sudden his mind he's perceived it slightly differently. He's not here to cure something, he's here to get better at what he already enjoys. So Brian's shank we looked right into it, where the ball was coming off. It was coming off the hosel, obviously. But on Brian's takeaway, he had a weak grip. So he started off with his grip was weak. So his hands were round this way. Okay. But even with the hands round that way, that can encourage a shank. Because when the club comes back into impact, the back of the left hand wants to point towards the target. Just like baseball, the back of the left hand would want to point to target. Now if I exaggerate this, and Brian's hands are away round there, so it wasn't quite as strong as or weak as that. When he comes into impact, his back of left hand points to target, the back of the right hand, or the front of the right hand, palm of right hand, is on the aft of the golf club. So he started off here, the impact he's got to there, as he's come down he's got to there, and you can see from that position, starting there, hands are weak round this way, into impact, there, back of left hand towards target, nice and flat, but you can see how it's leading with the heel. The heel of the golf club is coming into contact with the ball first. So that was a grip issue. Brian had to sort that out. We had to just strengthen that grip slightly. We moved his hands. We moved from here, we moved everything round a little bit, which of course felt uncomfortable. As I said to Brian, I said, you're doing this to make sure you hit good golf shots, not to cure something. This is what's going to help you hit good golf shots. So we neutralised the grip. On the takeaway, Brian dying to close the face over because he doesn't want to lead with the heel, so dying to get the toe to pass the heel. What does Brian do on the way back? From his weak grip, he opens the face up. So he knows it's open to give him something to close. But of course he opens the face up, so on his backswing he's here instead of here. from his weak grip. Then when he comes down, the back of the left hand points towards target. Because the face is so much opened up, or so far opened up, he leads with the heel through impact even more, because there's no way from the weak grip that he can close that face. So a weak grip and an opening of the face on the way back, shank. There are of course other ways to shank the golf ball or other things that can create a shank, but in this instance this is what happened with Brian. So if you are shanking, you can check if you're in this position, yes or no. When you grip the golf club, are your hands neutral? Are you seeing 1, 2, almost 3 knuckles, or are you seeing 1 knuckle of the left hand as you look down? That's too weak, because at impact you're going to be there. Now you can see the heel is ahead of the toe. The heel is ahead of the toe there, encouraging the shank. So we need to get the hand more neutral or stronger. There. So now when we come into impact, if I do come into impact and the left hand goes square, left hand goes flat, you can see it's closing the face. So now the toes come into play and the heel's getting left out of it. That hossel's getting left behind. So you can err on that side of being too strong with the grip. You could be away around here. Far too strong. At impact you might go left all day, which is much better than the shank. Second thing, on the way back, when the club's parallel to the ground, does it match up with your spine angle? So my spine angle being here, does the leading edge match up with that? Do I take the club back and it matches up with my spine angle, the leading edge of the golf club? Leading edge is this edge here. Does that match up? That matches up, that looks good. Brian was doing with his weak grip. Brian was here. So you can see how open the face is. That's just asking for the heel to come back down. Coming down, down, down. Heel is leading the shot there. Whereas if he was in a good position, he'd be coming down, the face is closing, bringing the toe more into play. Those two things are what we worked on. When Brian got the heel, the club face in this position, his hands went away from the body on the way back. So weak grip, hands went in this direction, club head fanned open that way. There, there, came back down, leading with the heel, shank. What did we do to fix it? Dead simple. One arm drill. Swung golf club with right arm only. When Brian swung with the right arm only, the hand can't go that way because it's pulling the club around your body. So he's never going to do that with one hand only. We got round here. Great. I asked him to try and leave the grooves pointing towards the golf ball. There's his golf ball. Generally, he would normally be in a weak position with the hands, and he would take the hands away from the body and fan open to here, come down, shank. Now, stronger grip, leave the grooves towards the golf ball, so more there. So now leading edge marries up with spine angle, hit golf ball. So his right hand was going towards his right pocket as the groove stayed towards golf ball, there. Then as it came through, right hand went towards the left pocket, keeping the grooves in line with the golf ball. And now there was no need for him to try and leave the club face pointing towards the target, trying to guide it. He now understood it went round, hit ball round, with the right arm only. There, continuing, hit ball, round there. Once Brian was able to do a couple of one-handed swings, we filmed it in slow motion and he really was able to see the difference and how strange it felt. He said it felt very awkward, then he looked at the swing back on the video and he could see it actually looks like a golfer. I just look like I'm playing golf shots now instead of just chopping at it with the heel first. The one-arm drill gave Brian the full sensation, so put the right hand on where it would be on the grip, not up here but down there, gripping a little bit stronger. Right hand into right pocket, right hand into left pocket, leaving grooves towards golf ball. He was able to close the face over as he's hitting the shot without any manipulation because he'd set it well on the way back. Tried to hit a couple just one-handed. Hit them well. It was a little bit funky to begin with, to be honest. There we go. All trying to create the sensation, trying to feel the grooves pointing towards the golf ball. If the grip's too strong and the club's too close on the way back, absolutely perfect. Certainly if it felt like that, it was perfect for his motion. Because there's no way he's going to err on the other side. Because he was so open. Then we had to introduce the right hand, the left hand of course. So I asked Brian, just take a few practice swings, but try and feel as though it's right arm dominant. Same thing, so the left hand is just there for the ride. Could feel it. Could feel taking club back, grooves pointing towards golf ball. Both hands are a little bit stronger now. Grooves pointing towards golf ball. Right hand into right pocket. Right hand into left pocket. So now you can see swinging much more on a nice arc, a nice plane. Whereas before it was that to try and get the ball up there. So then he was able to hit a few shots. Just soft ones to feel the motion. Did a lot of little soft shots. We incorporated lots of little soft shots, lots of practice drills with one hand, just really to try and ingrain this, because these are the motions he has to create to produce good golf shots. Remember, we're not trying to rid the shank here. We're not up here to get rid of a shank. We're up here to hit good golf shots. We're learning how to hit the golf ball properly. The more one-arm drills and soft shots that Brian hit, the more he was able to age the process, or the quicker he was able to age the process. Left hand on now, same motion. There wasn't a shank in sight. Then we started to add a little bit more speed, so we're going a little bit longer back and longer through, and he got it. He absolutely got it. He was able to feel as though it was the right hand drill. Grip stronger, grooves towards golf ball, hit ball, hand into left pocket, hand into right pocket, left pocket. Right pocket, left pocket. So that's one way to try and get rid of the shanks. As I say, people shank for different reasons, but you can go and film yourself. Is your grip too weak? Your hands turn too far to the left as you look down? Do you fan the club open too much to try and ensure you can close it over on the way back? When the club's parallel to the ground, that's measurable position 2, MP2. 1's addressed, 2 is parallel to the ground. Is the leading edge married up with your spine? No. Do your hands leave the body to try and help with this rotational motion, because you know that's what you need to try and hit good golf shots, get rid of shank. That's your 2 checkpoints. And then when you come through leading with the heel, are you chasing it towards target to try and ensure that you don't shank, or are you able to hit ball, hand in right pocket, hit ball, hand in left pocket? Are you able to do that? Dress position, stronger grip, grooves towards golf ball. If you're here, it's fine, much better. And if they all start going miles left, that's a good thing. There, hit ball, continue right. Guys, there we go. So that's how we helped Brian with his shanking problem. And I'm looking forward to hearing his feedback. If you leave comments below, let me know, do you shank? Have you shanked in the past? And what did you do to try and sort that problem? Remember, subscribe. Thanks.